Lighting in the typical portrait is, for lack of a better word, typical. A single large soft light source positioned somewhere between 45 and 90 degrees off the camera position with a soft non-specular source or reflector as a fill. A background light, maybe even a hair lighter added for separation. This explains a lighting system used by a majority of photographers and can be seen in a majority of portraits created by professional studios as well as department stores and mall photographers. While many beautiful portraits have been created using the simple lighting system, most of the beauty in these portraits has been created by the beauty of the subject and the elegance of the pose, not the lighting. Just by adding a secondary light or reflector coming from a lower angle, you can add a very elegant quality to simple portrait lighting. This floor light, or reflector in a head and shoulder portrait, is metered to be 1 to 2 stops less than main light, depending on the effect you want to achieve and the structure of your client's face. The floor light stays under the main light or close to it, not to fill the shadow side of the face. This little touch of extra light brightens the eyes, helps smooth the skin and darkness under the eyes, and adds a shimmer to the lips for a more glamorous look. A parabolic light with barn doors provides a little harder source of light that is more controllable than the typical softbox. Clients say this style of lighting has an old Hollywood look. This is an excellent choice for creating and controlling the shadowing on your clients, which gives your portraits a more glamorous look. Since this type of lighting produces more contrast than a typical softbox, you need to establish the proper fill by testing your lighting. I prefer to use a reflector to fill the shadow so I can see the exact lighting and shadowing effect on each subject's face. I always turn the face slightly more towards the main light source with this type of lighting than with a traditional softbox. By adding barn doors to the parabolic, you add control to your lighting and to what the viewer of the portrait will actually see. In my book, Corrective Lighting and Posing, I discuss the need for hiding portions of the client in shadow to produce an image that their egos can handle. The barn doors allow you to do this. My parabolic is from Alien B, and they don't offer barn doors, so I purchased a set of Norman barn doors in the same size, and it works fine. Most of the studio portraits are shot at f8 with a 70 to 200 2.8 lens. Wide-angle portraits are taken with a 16 to 35 lens. Many of the styles of lighting that I use I've learned from photographers outside of the portrait industry. The ring light is a light that fashion and advertising photographers have used for years. This large ring light is just like the smaller version for macro photography and provides a flat, even illumination of the face. We use the Alien B ring light, which is a smaller ring light with a softbox-like attachment which adds considerably to its size. When you work with a ring light, you want to work close enough to the subject for the ring light to produce a catch light around the pupil in the colored portion of the eye, which means that you'll be working in the 75 to 100 millimeter range with a full sensor camera. Ring lights work best in close head and shoulder shots. The effect of a small ring light is similar to an on-camera flash in a full-length pose. Another style of fashion lighting is butterfly lighting. This type of lighting has the main light in front and above the subject and lens of the camera, with a reflector or secondary light under the subject and camera. This light produces two distinct catch lights in the eyes in the 12 and 6 o'clock positions. The single most common mistake I see with this lighting is that photographers often place the light too close to the subject, making the main light almost directly overhead. This makes the eyes look recessed and doesn't light the eyes properly. Look to the eyes to direct the main light placement. Until you see distinct catch lights in the eyes in the 12 o'clock position, your light is too high, so lower it until you see distinct catch lights. The height of the main light will vary considerably with each client, as the eyebrow and the shape of the eye will alter how reflective the eyes are. The lower lighter reflector will meter from 1/2 to 1.5 stops less than the main, depending on the lighting effect you want and the structure of the client's face. Butterfly lighting can be used as effectively with full lengths and even small groups as it is for close head and shoulder portraits. The size of the lights you use will need to be larger the farther from the subject they'll be placed to achieve a similar effect. Even a simple grid spot can be an effective and glamorous light source. Grid spots are a very hard light for portraits, so proper placement and pose is a must. You must turn the subject's face more towards the spot to avoid excessive shadowing on the face. In addition, you need to place the light low enough to fully illuminate the eyes. Once you've selected the type of lighting that you want to use to give your portraits a more elegant look, the next step is to add accent lights to add more impact and glamour to your images. Hair lights and side accent lights are often a must when using a dark or black background, but these accent lights add a luster to the hair and accent the areas of the body you want the viewer to see, making your images have more impact. For more information or to order any of my books, visit Amazon.com or visit a better bookstore anywhere. For updates, articles, news, and information, join me on my Facebook for photographers and on Twitter at CJWealth. For daily posts, articles, and videos, visit my blog at jeffsmithbooks.wordpress.com.